Good morning. Okay, my computer was not listening to me. There you go. Oh, okay. Everybody having a Sunday morning. What's going on? Where are you all? Let's go. Okay. So to those of us that are here, it is the first Sunday with our Torah. We have just had an incredible, stunning, amazing few days, Shabbat, receiving the Torah. How much better could we actually be starting again? And I was like, oh my gosh, Sfiros HaOmer, what happened? We're done. We're on to the next. And then what's the next? The next was another attempted assassination. And I'm saying, Mr. Trump, who can arrange for you to have a chat with Rabbi Kesem? It's time for you to seek real advice. Not advice from everybody around you because they're too probably scared to tell you what to do, but advice from a Talmid Chacham who knows what's going on in the Torah, and it is time for somebody to orchestrate a meeting with Mr. Trump. So if anybody can do that, let's try and do that now. Oh, it's sometimes a little bit of a challenging thing when we're going through a growth process. Morning, Nikki. When we're going through growth process, and it doesn't always feel the way we don't know what it's supposed to feel like. Like, what was this exciting thing about receiving the Torah? I remember the first time going in Israel and walking from Morning Net and walking from where did we go from? Kiryat Moshe. I was just trying to remember where I lived that year. Kiryat Moshe, and walking from Kiryat Moshe to the Kotel and going, and we had a learning program in the old city, and you learn through the night, and then you go to the Kotel to daven. You can't hear the minyan, you can hardly hear Megillas Rus. You're so tired, you think you're going to throw up, and then you go to sleep. And first you have cheesecake, and then you go and find somewhere to go to sleep, and then you wake up and you're supposed to have a meal for lunch, and then Shavuos is over. And it's like, hello, what happened? And then over the years, as we grow together and as we find our place and we start the process of learning, of connecting, you can do some of the things by yourself. And sometimes I laugh to myself because I put things in my diary or in my plan, and I think, how are you actually going to get that done? So yesterday was one of those days. Somebody asked me to speak for 20 minutes. She gave me a time in my mind and all. Yeah, you know what? And even whatever it is, even if it's in the middle of shul.
הוא יכול להתאבל אותה, ואת לא מתארת כלום, זה מתנה ממני, אז את הולכת לשם, הנה, מישהו חיפש מזמן להכין לך ביחד, והגדלת לי את החיים. זה עשה, תגידי לו מה שאת רוצה.
I'm getting there, 1:08. Also, you there? Let me get it.
בגלל שלא שומעים אותי. עזבי את הכסף, לא, זה מתנה, יאללה. מתנות, הרבה מתנות. שתהיי מהממת, אבל מה, את שולחת לי את תמונת פלץ.
Okay, there we go. Done. Okay, so what happens? Okay, so I'm like now on the thing, and I know my shul times, but I did really think, okay, I forgot, I was thinking, I'm sure that by the time Shacharis, Hallel, Megillas Rus, and Yiska, but then I forgot that there's laning. I knew there's laning, but it just like didn't go. Now we'd agreed on before Yom Tov that I was speaking somewhere on the Shire Halls. It's only a 10-minute walk from shul, that I couldn't remember which Shire Hall. There are a whole bunch of Shire Halls. Why England just can't think of enough names of roads, so they've got a name: Close, Gardens, Park. Hello, they did this in Leeds, which totally threw us. But I'd committed, and I said I was going to speak just for a short while to a group of young professional women, and I didn't even know who I was speaking for. So when I even got there, I knew the person. When I got there, I said, is it this, or this? So I should, should I work here now? I was like, that is so funny, because I didn't even know what organization was I going to speak to, because who cares? When I was leaving, I realized I'm going to miss Yiska. I thought to myself, you know what? No better Yiska the custom, the minhag of Yisco, no better Yisco than actually going and sharing Torah and a little bit of whatever just passion of the Torah with some beautiful Jewish women that are on their journey. And then you get back, and I got back for Kedusha. I got back for Kedusha. I got back for Birkat Kohanim. I got back to Shul so that I could finish off that as well. And then you don't plan your day. So we got to lunch and got home, and then I was going back exactly the same direction, but a little bit further down the line. What a world we live in. What a world we live in. You know, Hashem gives us opportunities to do things and to connect in places that are just so important for each and every one of us. But it's a long journey. And when I realize and I'm counting the years and I'm thinking to myself, you know, yesterday in Manchester, 34 years ago, it would have been on the Shabbos. We had our son's bris and we're living in Leeds and all these crazy things that have happened in the world. And I thought to myself, you know, it's such an important time. This is when you thank Hashem for all the things that we think. And why? Because Hashem commanded us. We listened to the 10 commandments on Friday. And then we kept Shabbos. And we listened to Hashem's commands. And that is something which is so intrinsic of the Jewish people. We don't even know some of the things that we're doing and why we're doing. But Hashem says we do it, and we do it. So now we have that journey after that to connect to the places to find out why we're doing. And when we talk about a little gift that we're given, and you know what we've been given is a gift of the Torah. And imagine that Torah really came in this little box, tiny little box, and somebody, you don't even know what's in it. But you're given this beautiful little box and it's wrapped up and there's a little note on the outside that says, here's a gift for you. Just treasure it forever. And you'll have it to pass down generation after generation after generation after generation. And you open this box and you think, what is it? And you see something, you think, now what? And it's beautiful and it's wonderful, but what is it? And then you start finding out about all the important things that went into this gift that's there. And every time you open up something, there's something new. And every time you learn something else, there's another something. And every time we expose ourselves to different places in the world, there's another layer that I found out about myself and another thing which I have to do and say, this is something that I have to work on. And where do I get my values and where do I get all the things? Direct from this beautiful Torah. But the important thing is that we find the place to connect. And the mission of the Ramchal, he says and he tells us in a book called Mesilas Yesharim, he says, for his coming to this world is only for this purpose, namely to attain a closeness to Hashem, right? A closeness to Hashem. We don't need actually anything else. And when we're in places, as we've heard so many times, and I think maybe because in the tunnels, one of the things were that the hostages were separated from each other. And when we went through and you go and you learn from all survivors of the Holocaust, and we see what people have been through, and ultimately the thing that has gotten them through whatever it has been a connection and a closeness to Hashem, that one of the things that people say is that you can't have that closeness again until you're in that space that you know that you so need, and that's the only thing. So I'm going to ask everybody today that we can dedicate today's learning to my great niece, who needs a real refuah. But Baruch Hashem, they have amazing things in Eretz Yisrael, but we just had, we need a refuah for Ayala Miriam Bastara. She's only going to be 5, and she's already been through years of treatment, and now they need to try something else. And we just say, you know what? We don't know Hashem's journey. Her mother's expecting the 3rd child soon, and we've got the next journey. And this was a time that we're hoping to make a little bit of a celebration to say, you know, we're at the end of the year and a half of treatment. And we just have to say, you know what? We have no clue. We have no clue. But one thing that we can say is that the closeness to Hashem through this has been, as she says, their connection to Hashem has been so much greater in these times because of what we have to do. So, as with all things in all life-changing ideas, there's such a thing called intentions, kavanah. Kavanah for our mitzvahs, for our commandments. That's something we need to and can now begin to incorporate in our daily lives. And yesterday afternoon was at another friend. We had a little class and a little share and shalashiddas. And I saw Dashli Shit. And I just said, you know what? One of the things we think about, I said, as I walked in and I needed another water, very warm, Baruch Hashem, thank you Hashem for our warmth here in London, okay? And I said, you know what? Isn't it amazing? I have to drink water now to rehydrate my body in order to continue to serve Hashem. So, hello, right? And such a beautiful thing when we do that, and then we say, okay, it's such a simple thing. Took less than 8 seconds, okay? And that's something that we're going to look to do over the next days, is to be able to find a way that we can find things every day, that we can find things that we just stop for a moment, we think about what it is that we're doing, be mindful. My mindful moments of my coffee share with my garden on the yesterday morning on Shabbos. Before I go to shul, I like to have my little space, just, this quiet here. So I could take my coffee, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'akol neh b'dbaro. The weather was lovely, so I could just sit, but I went to look at my strawberries. And my strawberries were not even existing really a few months, 6 to 8 weeks ago. And then the bush started regrowing again. And then these little white flowers, and I should have bought them. I'm not going to get up and get them, but I picked off 5 strawberries last night. And then you watch it grow and you think, Hashem, how is it possible? How did you do this? And then we put that into all the different places. So honestly and truly, they're just very simple, easy things. When we look at flowers, I said to my daughter, she bought these beautiful, they went to the market. She made us each arrangements. And said, I looked at, can you see that little flower? I don't know what it's called, but it looks, actually, when you're looking at it there, it looks like it's actually made of that ceramic with some shining paint on. And you've just got to be able to see these things that Hashem has given us, the gifts of the gifts of the gifts. And on that, Nikki, let's just start. Let's do our Mizmor Le Toda.
Mizmor Le Toda. Ariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. Ivdu et Adonai b'simcha. Boi lefanav birnana. De'u ki Adonai hu Elohim. Hu asanu v'lo anachnu. Amor v'tzon marito. Bo'u she'arav v'toda. Chaserotav v'tehila. Hodu lo baruch shemo. Ki tov Adonai le'olam chasto. Ve'ad dor vador emunato.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody. And please, God, we will find the space now. Once you've been having the close build, we've gone from Pesach to Shavuos, and now we're going to be working on consolidating, on foundation, on finding our space and making sure that we make the rest of our time very productive. And please, and I'm serious, I think we all have to just start on that, literally that.
Can I say something?
Please.
Morning, everyone. So nice to see everyone. I've got the zechus to be in Eretz Yisrael, and I'm going to go to the Kotel this evening. So if anyone's got any names that they'd like me to daven for, just put them on the group, and I will, B'li Neder, do my best.
Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And I'm allowed to say, I think on anything ruchnius, and I'm jealous, and just make sure that you just hold us with us. So thank you for doing that, Natalie. And I hear there's somebody new in Camp Simcha on staff, not on person. Somebody is going to be doing a little bit different, new. Somebody by the name of somebody Blitz. You know, it's my daughter. You're muted. You're muted. I can't hear
the young fundraiser.
Phenomenal. It's my daughter.
Remind me her first name.
Sheba.
The blondie.
The blondie. She doesn't look like she fits here, but hey, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. I had no idea. I knew they were recruiting. Oh, I'm so excited. That is
daughter
amazing.
Number 4.
Perfect fit. Perfect fit.
She's very excited, and we said we'll be able to do some collaborating.
Yes, please. Unbelievable. I'm so happy. That's great. You made my day.
Very exciting. Make a beautiful day, everybody, and continue to shine and to share your light, and just do what you need to do, and that is what will bring more light to the world.
Thank you.
Good morning. Make a beautiful day, everybody. Enjoy in London, sunshine, and the family from Spain and everybody around. Just enjoy everybody.
Thank you.
Lots of love. Lots of love.